the U.S. will send another $270 million in military aid to help Ukraine in its 5-month battle with Russia. The White House says this will include drone support. Consideration is being given to possibly send fighter aircraft as well. This comes as Russia and Ukraine managed to find common ground Friday, signing 2 separate agreements to allow Ukraine to resume shipments of grain across the Black Sea as Russia lifts its naval blockade. But this morning, Russian missiles are reportedly striking the key port city of Odessa. Holly Williams has the latest from Dnipro in central Ukraine. Holly, good morning.
Good morning. Well, Russia's been accused of using hunger as a weapon of war by blockading Ukraine's ports, contributing to a dangerous spike in food prices around the world. Now, this new deal could avert a global food crisis, but it's fragile. And now, less than a day later, Ukraine says one of its ports has been hit with cruise missiles, calling it a spit in the face to the UN Secretary General.
The Russians and Ukrainians refused to sit at the same table and avoided shaking hands. But this deal could hold off disaster in some of the world's poorest countries.
It will bring relief for developing countries on the edge of bankruptcy and the most vulnerable people on the edge of famine.
More than 20 million tons of grain have been stuck in Ukraine, and the war has destroyed silos and crops, contributing to a surge in food prices. The United Nations says 345 million people, many in Africa, are now marching to the brink of starvation. Before the invasion, Ukraine was one of the world's biggest exporters of grain, the breadbasket of Europe. Russia's blockade has been called a war crime by the European Union, though Russia denies it's weaponized hunger. This, however, is irrefutable, the deadly violence unleashed by Vladimir Putin's invasion. On Thursday, this woman lost her husband when a crowded market was hit by shelling. But much-needed weapons are arriving from the US and its allies, and they're making a difference. This week, the US promised more HIMARS rocket systems. With a 50-mile range, they're game-changing, according to Ukraine.
The Ukrainians are making the Russians pay for every inch of territory that they gain.
The US says Russian forces have only advanced 6 to 10 miles in eastern Ukraine in the last 90 days.
These tactical gains have come at an incredible cost in terms of Russian casualties and destroyed equipment.
Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky said in an interview this past week that back in May and June, his military was losing up to 200 soldiers every day, and that's now down to 30. Meanwhile, the head of Britain's Foreign Intelligence Service predicts that Russia's assault is about to, quote, run out of steam after some epic fails. Jeff?
Holly, thank you very much.